So and Pat will verify this, I have never read anything out loud to another man before, but I read a book to Pat out loud. Did I not?
Yes, you did.
And
yes, you did.
I tried to stop, actually, and you actually said...
No, I wanted to hear it.
Yeah,
It
he was like, wait,
riveting.
read some more. And I'm like, no, you read it. And he's like, no, we had time, read it. And I read it to him out loud. It's the name of the book, and he made fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
The name of the book is How Do You Kill 11 Million People? And he said, oh, that sounds good. And I said,
That
no.
sounds like fun. Merry Christmas, everybody.
I said, listen to it. It's 46 pages. The meat of it is 46 pages, and then it goes into kind of an interview question-answer thing. But the meat of it is 46 pages. The author is Andy Andrews. He is not Andy, you're not this kind of guy, right?
Right. This is people who usually read my books, when they heard this title, everybody goes like, what? Like, where?
Because you're kind of a motivational kind of guy, right?
Yeah. I really teach people ways to better their lives, and this is what I do. And so the books I write are more inspirational.
So the opposite of an inspirational book would be one that is completely black and just says, "How do you kill 11 million people?" on the cover. But this is what we try to do every single day, and I've not been able to do it in a pithy fashion. This is one, and Stu just read it last night, one of the best explanations of what we're facing right now in the country. You want to explain just a little bit? You're going to be on the TV show tonight to really go through it.
Right.
But will you kind of explain a little bit?
Absolutely. It came about with the question I asked myself for 5 years, because I know what you try to do is to bring people together. Now, sometimes as we bring people together, we become polarizing, and that's not what we're wishing for. We're wanting to bring people to a common point. So I asked my question, can I write something that doesn't say Democrat or Republican, never says liberal or conservative, and yet every single person, when they read it, would agree with it? Because the essence of influence is agreement. And so there are things that we agree on in generalities, like principles and character. But in specific, I finally found one thing that we agree on. And that is, you could go anywhere on the street and you could ask anybody, do you think it's okay for politicians to lie, or should they tell the truth? Every single person will say, oh, they should tell the truth, even if they're lying about it, right? Right. And so the idea here was how to demonstrate this in a palpable way. I wanted to create something literally take 15 minutes to read, something, this cheap little book that people could give away, that people could read out loud to each other, and
if
something.
more people would listen to me, I would read this out loud to them. If more people would, if my wife would ever, well, I've said to my wife, she's like, "You're not reading that to me," and I'm like, "No, but it's really, you're not reading that to me."
I see. I feel like I've talked for 30 years till I'm blue in the face with some friends, and I don't think I have changed anybody's mind. And sometimes I think I've strengthened their arguments in their minds. Because anytime you face somebody's worldview and confront it directly, it's a waste of time. Mm-hmm. And so the idea was to find something that would scare people bad enough or make them mad enough to get up and do something.
It is full of facts that I didn't even know.
Everything is footnoted.
No, I know that. But there are things in here, right, with you too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Things in here I had to look up the footnotes because I'm like, no way. I've never even heard that. And I'm pretty good on this kind of stuff.
Well, see, I had always had this question watching the Holocaust movies or watching this kind of thing. I thought, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
How do you do that? And I'm not saying how do you kill 11
It's not like
people?
it's a starter kit.
Right. No. It's not what weapons do you use or what mindset does somebody have.
Or how do we start this kind of thing. It's how do you stop it.
Idea is, how did 11 million people allow themselves to be killed?
Can I take you down the road of some stuff that I did not know?
Sure.
Of what they said to people.
Yeah.
And believe me, this book is not a Holocaust book. It's not about the Holocaust. And I don't want to focus on this, but we'll see tonight on GBTV why this is so important. I urge you to go to the store and get the book. How much is this?
Well, it's like
$14.99. So that's what it says on the back.
They discount it.
Yeah. How do you kill 11 million people? I'm telling you, you'll read this book. You could read it in the store. You'll read this book and you'll buy 5 copies, and you'll give it to people, and you'll just leave it on their desk You'll just give it to people because it will wake them up. It's what we've tried to do with almost everything we've written, everything we've tried to produce. Everything we do is with this goal in mind, and you hit it out of the park. But when the Jews were being rounded up and put on the trains,
right,
it's lie after lie after lie after lie.
A written policy of lies was created to do this, because the answer to how do you kill 11 million people is very simple. It's you lie to them. And so it was a policy of lies. The first lie, when they encircled the neighborhood, and this was what Eichmann came up with. Adolf Eichmann created this like a head of a multinational company, right? And so the first lie was, as they encircled the neighborhoods with barbed wire, which later became known as ghettos, they would post signs saying everything is fine, we have advancing troops, we're just keeping the neighborhoods where they are, continue about your lives, this is a temporary necessity of war. Then the second lie is they would send Nazi officers inside the compounds at night to take bribes from the Jewish leaders. Now think about this. They're taking bribes for better living conditions. They're actually taking Jewish money. So the Jews are thinking, okay, well, we're fine.
They need us.
We're fine, because if they were just going to kill us and take everything anyway, certainly they wouldn't take bribes. So it calmed them down and kept them from escaping or fighting. And the third thing they would do is, I actually found, the Nuremberg trial transcripts led me to this, but I actually found the speech that was approved. Eichmann said it himself many times, but less than 30 people would go into the ghetto on a final day, only half of them armed. Okay, so less than 15 people armed facing all the Jewish men. And they basically, I've got the exact words they used in this book.
It's phenomenal.
But they basically said, everything is fine. At last we can tell you why we've taken you into our protection. And now we have a place not too far away. There's factories, there for you to work. The wives will stay at home. Schools are there for your kids. But the Russians are advancing, so we got to move now. Fathers, please grab your children, grab your wives, keep your families together. Quickly, my friends, load on the trains. And as soon as they got in the boxcars, they padlocked them, and it was over.
Wow. It's amazing. It's amazing. Tonight, Andy is going to be on with us. David Barton is going to be on with us. We're going to expose some things tonight that you don't want to miss on gbtv.com, gbtv.com. Make sure you're there tonight at 5 o'clock, live from our new studios in Dallas, Texas. So get off the air. I'll take you for a little tour around here. It's pretty amazing. But the name of the book is How Do You Kill 11 Million People? If you don't mind, I've said this about my own books, but you can't read my book in the bookstore. You can yours.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind me saying, go in and read this book. You can read it standing in the bookstore. Read it. And I promise you, if you do that, it'll take you 40 minutes standing there in the bookstore. You can avoid the help for 40 minutes. You go read it in the bookstore. You'll end up buying 5 of these copies and give it to your friends. This is a way. It is not about politics. And you know that I am not saying that Barack Obama is a Nazi, because I'm also saying that the progressive way of life is the disease, and I have told you that Newt Gingrich is just as dangerous. This is not about parties. This is not about elections. This is about fixing the country by fixing yourself, and the way to fix it is to face the truth and the facts. Andy, we'll talk to you at 5 o'clock